Welcome everyone. Adam the Woo here. As a recording of this TGIF, it is Friday, March 21st, 2025. Where the heck is the year going? They say the older you get, the faster time goes, and I am here to say that is a true statement. I turned 50 back in August of last year, and that just seems like yesterday, but it was half a year ago, just about a half a year ago. Halloween haunt season will be here before we know it. Each year just rolling on, rolling on. Progress stops and waits for no man, including myself. Behind me is the Wyndham Hotel. It's being demolished, or at least a portion of it's being demolished. I'm on International Drive, going to meet up with a buddy. We are going to walk and/or find other transportations to get down International Drive and do a little update, spring 2025 update on International Drive. Things are a-changing, as always. I'm inviting you to join me. Shall you? All right, coffee achieved. I went to the Starbucks next to where the Wyndham was. I'm kind of curious if the Wyndham is completely closing or if they're just tearing down like 2/3 of it. Yeah, a little piping hot caffeinated beverage to start today. Yeah, they've already torn a lot down through here.
See the pool?
Can you see the pool?
I don't know.
We might have to walk around the other side to get to it.
I think it was.
Micah's here.
Hey, got my new shirt on.
Yeah, you bought that. We were hanging out yesterday, and now we're hanging out again today.
That's it. It's a double-double.
What's the first thing you think of when you think of the Wyndham?
Spooky Empire.
Exactly.
I was talking about that in my video earlier. I said the amount of talent and like celebrities, you and I both, have sat in that room straight ahead.
Yeah.
And have witnessed like history, like the Blair Witch Project panel, like that kind of stuff was really cool.
Last year was the last spooky here. Spooky's still going to happen, but no longer at this venue. The first spooky I ever went to here was in 2008. So definitely a lot of memories of this place. And I always park in this parking lot next to Chuy's. We kind of have a tradition of eating it. Every time we're in this area, we always eat at that Chuy's.
Yeah. So good.
This is prime real estate, so I can imagine they got a pretty penny for this land. But I am curious, is that part of it still going to be the Wyndham?
I don't know.
We should walk around the front.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what weirded me out when I drove in here. I always drive in the side by Ripley's, which has this sign also.
I missed this.
It's weird not seeing, so it makes me think the whole place is closing.
Yeah, Cooper's Hawk, I think, would be the only thing that would go on unless they relocate. By the way, hey, buddy.
Hello.
2 days as well. I've eaten here many times. Abby and I love this place.
It's connected to the Wyndham.
Yep.
Fun fact, in 2008, the first time I ever went to it, they had a Dawn of the Dead reunion. And right here on the corner is where I met the Godfather of Gore, Herschel Gordon Lewis, right there.
Dude.
Right on that very corner.
No way.
2008.
That's amazing.
Yep. I met him just walking. He was out there just walking in.
I met Linda Blair right there. I held the door open for her as she was walking in. I met Alice Cooper. Remember we saw Alice
Oh yeah, I
Cooper?
remember Alice. That was great.
My buddy was a big fan of
Yes.
it. He's totally like froze.
I remember that. This car's been honking for a good while. It was getting even before I even got my coffee.
I also met Chris Farley's brother from Black Sheep, Mike Donnelly.
Oh yeah.
He was doing the Animal House reunion. I forget his name. He was in the Brady sequel too.
Smoking area. I kind of feel like it's still going to be open, just this one portion of it, but maybe not.
That's where I met Christopher Lloyd.
You met a cavalcade of your celebrity bucket list here, man.
Absolutely. Preacher from the Black Lagoon. I met Rico from Preacher.
That light's on. It's trippy. See, it's trippy looking in here.
It is. It's like, I wonder if there's anything left over to speak.
Really, the tell-all will be, if they're going to keep any of this open, will be the rooms on this side. Because they can keep it open if the rooms on this side are not being torn down. But if these are being torn down, this place is done.
Yeah. I've been in those rooms on this side. Promise and Travis stayed here one night. And Abby and I came to see them and to see the room. It was really cool. I think she did like a whole video of what it looks like in the
Oh yeah, dude, this place is going away. Look at this over here.
It's all gone.
Here's where the check-in would be.
Yeah.
They're just going to bulldoze all this.
You know, that's sad. I mean, how many mornings have we stood out just like this? Seeing people lined up all the way down, standing here and going to
We're going to cover a lot more of iDrive too, but this is just too wild to pass up. Are the doors open? There was one on the other side that was open. No, it's locked. There was a door in the front that was open. These aren't. One last little peek in there. Yeah, I never went to any of the pool parties, but I know Petey, he used to always be like, you got to go to the pool party. It's the stuff where some of the stuff Petey told me cannot be repeated.
No.
In a vlog.
At all.
Shout out to Petey from Spooky. The Spooky's still going on. It's just not going to be here anymore. Man, this is wild. Look at this. You can see the Icon Orlando, Icon Park, Orlando Eye over there. Man, this is wild. Unbelievable. They have just demolished and torn all this down. Look at that. Faintly see the lettering there.
Just be quiet around here.
They did have the convention center. They had other stuff too, but I think that was the most people showed up for that event every year.
When Corey Taylor from Slipknot showed up, and the amount of people who came who had never been to a convention but they wanted to meet Corey, that was cool to see their reactions. Because it was just like normal fans of Slipknot walking in, and they're like, "Wait a minute,
What is this?
Yeah,
I could buy a horror film T-shirt here."
yeah. You mean I can dress up like Slipknot and meet him?
Yeah.
I didn't know. You know, I love that stuff.
Definitely a big footprint of land, though. So my assumption was that they were going to keep part of the hotel open and just remove half of it. I was wrong. This whole thing's going away. Although they could keep the convention center part open, but that wouldn't make any sense because no one would be staying here.
Yeah, those ballrooms are pretty big. But it's cool to see like what's left. How interesting. Do they just stop at a certain part? And they're like,
Yeah, you think about it. One of those pieces of rubble right there could have been the wall of the room that was next to the bed that Bruce Campbell might have slept in.
yeah.
The thing that kind of gets me is the main building, which is like 1/5 of what they haven't torn down, still standing.
Do we know what this is going to be?
I don't know. I haven't.
See, I'm wondering
Heard,
if they're gonna,
or-
like just redo the rooms, and
Oh.
their hotel's going to take over it
That's a possibility.
because these rooms were kind of old.
That's true. They needed some TLC.
And there's nothing wrong with the convention center. So if another company came in here, they would have a whole convention center, restaurant connected, and they could just build this.
It's a valid point.
It'll end up being a parking lot.
Yeah, just to show how massive this property is. This is kind of on the thoroughfare too, towards Epic Universe. So again, prime real estate. This is interesting. Since the last time I was in this area, this Perkins has now closed. So maybe they're going to be doing a massive tear down renovation on this section, corner of Sand Lake and iDrive. It's a possibility. Years ago, they announced they were going to do the world's tallest roller coaster behind this. That never happened. But now the Perkins, which was open for a while, It's now closed, signage and everything. The ever-changing landscape of International Drive. Good chunk of land too. I keep using the word prime real estate. So right over there is where the Wyndham was, and the Starbucks where I got the coffee, and then you got Icon Park over there. But look at all this parking that's just empty. There used to be a go-kart track, Fun and Wheels, back in there. Or the company owned by Fun and Wheels. This is the backside of Hogan's, no longer beach shop, it's just Hogan's wrestling shop now. And then of course the Perkins.
This is where you met Hogan, right? I saw him.
Yeah, I saw Hogan from a distance back here when he did a meet and greet.
Hogan, give me $100.
He was doing like a meet and greet inside. I was just passing through. I did not wait in the line. It was a pretty long line. But Hogan got out of his car there, walked past me, walked in that door, and he called me brother. He was telling me as we were walking over here that this BK has gone back to their old school design with the hamburger. They're going retro. All the BKs are going back to their retro logo. All the signage dropped. The beach shop, Hogan's Beach Shop, which was called that for many, many years. Now they just call it Hogan's Wrestling Shop. I think his other store in Sarasota, which was the first one, still called Beach Shop, but this one is nowhere near a beach, so it's always interesting to me that they they call this the Beach Shop. It's nowhere near the beach. Yeah, they still have a lot of the what they call mannequins, I guess, in there of Hogan when you kind of are walking around inside, merchandise, things like that. All the different eras of Hogan back in the WWF days. When I was very, very young. He was definitely my favorite wrestler. I always liked Hogan and what he brought to the ring. Didn't really follow wrestling too much when it went to WWE and on from there, but watched a little bit. I would go to some independent wrestling stuff here and there. I haven't really kept up with a lot of the new wrestling. Hogan's Beach Shop. He is on a shark. He's on a shark right there. Micah was telling me his favorite era of Hogan was Hollywood Hogan. When he was the heel. You like the heel era?
Huh?
You were the heel era of Hogan?
Well, yeah, when I was a kid, I remember like everyone knew who Hulk Hogan was, you know, and everything, but he was the heel that I first was like, I like this.
Yeah.
Why do I like this?
He probably plays a better heel than he does the good guy.
Dude, it was just because it was all Hulkism stuff. You know, like, it was just so good. Him, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall would come out, and they would just talk smack.
And being Central Floridians, there was a TV show that was filmed at Disney that you know pretty well.
Yeah.
With Hogan, Thunder in Paradise.
Thunder in Paradise. Him and.
Did you ever do the video on that yet?
I did.
Check out Micah's video, Thunder in Paradise, at Epcot.
At Epcot and at the Grand Floridian and at Fort Wilderness Campground.
And Seven Seas.
Yeah, Seven Seas were in the background. It's nuts. What a fun movie.
Yeah, search his filming location video on Hulk Hogan's Thunder in Paradise, the show no one saw.
Brother.
There's also a place that Micah and I know very well from a John Ritter film, Problem Child 2. They're in the opening sequence. They use this in Problem Child 2. Still here.
Yeah, they walked
John
out
Ritter.
And they had those the flags.
Yeah.
So it's the same looking shell of the building.
I hope this never goes away.
Me too, because every time I pass by this, I always think of the song, "Only the strong survive."
It's interesting. All the poles through here have stickers all over. Like every pole down International Drive just has stickers tagged up everywhere. All of them. It's a prevalently stickered area. More construction, more bulldozing.
The building numbers right here, the ticket building. Oh yeah, totally. Oh my.
This was the original swings on iDrive before Icon Park. Go-kart track. Yep. Is this where the Gator Golf was? Or that's over there?
Next door.
Next door.
So right here as you're walking, right up there was where the golf cart was hanging over. Like it looked like it was hanging over, gonna fall off the truck.
Yeah, they not only bulldozed it, but they've cleaned it all up. Means they're probably gonna build something here. Well, it's for sale. Still a little bit of the original brick down here.
Yeah, this is where you would walk up to the front of the Magical Midway arcade. And over there was the slingshot.
Definitely looks a lot different since the last time I was by here.
Big slingshot.
These little tiki stands. You got a timeshare place there that's still open. Timeshare place is open. This place, little tiki stand thing's not. This has been empty for a while. Be interesting to find out how much it'd be to rent this. You just lease this out. It's just, I don't know what you would sell here. We should look into leasing this.
Yeah.
Be kind of neat. I don't know what I would put here. This hasn't been open for a long time. Got the bamboo. Even still got inside here. It's like it has some, I don't know what that is in there. Looks like that little quick service items, like an oven and things. You can open up a idrive churro stand.
Could be the
This has been closed for a couple of years. It's a good business opportunity right here on International Drive, where most of the business are just people that walk up and down the road. Also, side note, that business that's not open, that little tiki stand thing, is right here at the cusp of Orange County, or Orlando, I should say, not the county line. Forget what I said about the county line, but it's the cusp of the city line for Orlando. Nicknamed the city, it has a lot of nicknames, but the City Beautiful is the main one.
They removed all the stickers.
It's the only area of iDrive that doesn't have stickers.
Yeah, they used to be covered. Last time I was here, I mean, it was pretty bad.
Be
I
interesting.
said something about it.
You think from this point, now that we're in Orlando, the stickers have been all removed?
Who knows?
Because behind, this is, well, it's not a county line though, it's just a city line.
Yeah, it's just the city line.
Interesting. Little gators down here. Look at this over here. You got little gators. Someone's fishing for gators. The longest residence of International Drive right here.
Mm-hmm.
Gator golf. Gator golf. Micah was just noticing across the street, that is where the Wyndham has moved to. Right over there. We'll walk over there. That's where the Wyndham's going to be now. They've taken over this property. And you can see over the top over here, that's the water park at Universal. This place was hopping a few days ago for St. Patty's. Get him a little treat there. Get him a little treat. Get it. It's a little hot. It's a little hot dog on a rope. No, I've never seen a brown Hulk before. Have you ever seen a brown Hulk? I never have. That is not the Hulk. Thousands of gifts for $1.99, probably each. You can't get 1,000 gifts for $1.
Yes, for that.
Bring your shopping cart and have some fun, folks. This is very interesting. It's made out of, I thought it was mesh. It's little, what do you call these? Not screwed, the parts of bolts.
Yeah, bolts.
Bolts.
Well, look at his hair. It's a chain like a bicycle.
Sure is.
It's like a bicycle chain on his hair. This is really cool, man.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So it probably never was green.
Heavy Metal Hulk.
Heavy Metal Hulk.
Here it is. That Heavy Metal Mickey.
Yeah.
There it is.
Heavy Metal Hulk. Mickey's gonna have words with you, Hulk. You don't want to see him angry. Do not steal his tagline. Never in my entire life seen a brown Hulk made out of metal. Is he really? He just has resting.
I'm so happy.
He's so happy. He has resting Hulk face.
The way they talk like Arnold, though.
Oh.
I'm Abby, look at me. Smile.
This has probably been here for a while. How have I never noticed these? This is a relic. Amazing the stuff you notice. Oh, what do they call? They're calling it the idrive district now.
Yeah.
All right.
Is that new? Because I know they were changing a lot of stuff.
I've never heard it called the district.
Now, there's a lot of rumors that they were going to close all of this and put the trolleys in, and you had to park in a parking garage and ride the trolleys. And I don't think it ever.
Were they going to close the road down?
Yeah.
You're like walking.
Yeah. They were going to close down certain parts and kind of do like they do in Memphis and New Orleans, where it's trolley only. I don't think that would have worked at all.
Okay, that storefront's empty. That storefront's empty. King Pizza's still open, but next to King Pizza, that is empty. Doesn't look like this discount ticket center is in use anymore. This is another one of the timeshare type of places where you could go listen to a timeshare and then either get cash or discounted tickets. Some old tickets, items inside, and also some Starburst down in here. Yes, you have the Infinity Falls sticker on the ground. Ooh, I wonder what era. There's Legoland, iDrive. This doesn't look too old. Howl at the Moon. Trying to see what era those would have been. Dave and Buster's, Wonderworks, all that stuff's still around. I think that door's open. Around the corner there.
No, that's closed. Love the alien across the way.
That alien's been there a long time.
Yeah.
And this Roboland has been about 17 things.
Whirly Dome.
Whirly Dome, that's old school.
It was a place where you could buy like sports memorabilia.
This was the old Michael Jordan sculpture that used to be there, and then they repainted it. A multitude of different things. Alien's looking pretty good. He's been repainted. He's got a fresh coat of paint on him. That's the best I've seen that alien look in years.
Yeah, he looks good.
I think he used to be holding a flag.
Yeah, I think that was a flag.
It's a flagpole.
The whole thing looks really good.
That looks like that's a fresh coat of paint.
I always thought that was like Bart Simpson's one of the Bart Simpson type of.
I'm an alien. Who the hell are you? He's been here for a long time too. I think he was in a different spot on iDrive. iDrive, International Drive.
Well, you know, if you head down towards Festival Bay, they have that other soccer player.
This place is still thriving. You get an all-you-can-eat buffet for $24 steakhouse. You know what? It looks like this gift shop has finally closed. This thing was one of the last old-school gift shops to stay open, other than the Problem Child 2 one back there. But it looks like it's closed its doors.
This one and the rocket ship one down there, the spaceship.
This is the lighthouse one.
Yeah. I did get to go in this before it closed.
Oh, look at this. I never realized there was a Rita's. I do love some frozen ice and some Italian ice. Just past Universal Boulevard, which would be down there.
Yep.
No longer can you use this as a beacon. Although it is very interesting, the sun is right above the lighthouse providing its own light, even though this one doesn't work anymore. It's a weird. Oh, look at this. We could buy our ride passes here.
Yep.
I don't know where we're going, but we could buy. Well, you used to be able to buy the tickets here. This was obviously designed and painted by the same person that did the mermaid one on Highway 192.
Roland Dempsey is his name.
Roland
Dempsey.
Interesting.
Roland Dempsey. He signs his name on everything. I believe he emailed me one time.
Songbird. That's so cool. formerly George's Music, the Musician Superstore. Right here off I-4.
Hey, how are
Used to be a DeLorean that used to sit right here.
Yeah, I always thought George McFly.
George McFly's music.
Yeah.
The tires were right there on those rocks.
Dad started a music store and they parked the DeLorean here. That's my story.
Last time I was here like a year ago, there was a sign that said, "Coming soon, new store." Let's see what's going on. Here, this sign's been up for like over a year. Future home of Bear Hug Brewing.
Huh. Yeah, there's a sticker. It's changed.
Circus School. I think they still use this. Obviously I don't use this, but little Coke machine here.
No way.
Yeah, old Coke machine. That's what the inside of a Coke machine looks like.
Yep.
I stocked many of these back in my retail days.
Did you?
Yep. The manager would tell me, fill the Coke machine out front. And I'd go to the aisle, get Coke products, and then I would fill the machine, close this back up, spin that around, lock it up.
These had Mountain Dew, Powerade, water, Aquafina, Monster, Frizz, Pepsi, and Coke.
Now walking up back the other side, walk down one side, now going up the other. This looks like it's open, but something's going on here in the front. Look, there used to be a market there called the Steel Chef Market. This motel is open, but I think the Steel Chef Market's closed. That's interesting. They're building a moat.
It looks like it.
All right, this used to be something. Looks like an old,
Laser
like,
tag.
it's like an old Chevy's or something. An old Mexican restaurant. And then it was a laser tag zombie place.
Yep.
Dang.
Okay, when I first got my DSR camera,
Of the
I came
DSLR?
down here.
Yeah.
My DSLR, I was filming right down here to test it out, and this was here.
This is the spot of one of your first videos?
Yeah. With that.
Active payphone, except, well, it's not active, but it's here. And one thing I've never realized before, there are little placards down here. That is odd. There are little namesakes into the ground. Like, look at this. Here's Uncle Bob Someone walkway from 1985. Dude, I've never noticed these.
I've never noticed these either.
That's cool.
Well, this was the very first hotel right here. Right there.
You think that's what
maybe
that's
this
from,
could
the
be.
80s?
Yeah. It could be, man.
Uncle Bob Someone. Uncle Bob Peckler? Pendler? Uncle Bob Pendler.
Walkway.
1985.
March of 1985.
Who Uncle Bob was. So you're saying this was the first touristy motel on iDrive?
This was the very first hotel on iDrive, period. And this is the one that Roy came over with the man who started this international drive. There was like a lawyer and someone else who owned some land, and they started this whole thing. And Roy, kind of handshake agreement, said, we would love to come in here and train our Disney cast members for the opening of Walt Disney World, because they're going to have hotels.
Yeah, all right. A place I feel like is never going to go away is the Volcano Island miniature golf. Every time I'm here, I think, when I turn that corner and walk back here, these dinosaurs are going to be removed, and they have stood the test of time. They are never going extinct.
No.
Although, they've been painted. Oh, you know what? Someone probably went in there and spray painted something they weren't supposed to. And they went in and painted over it so people couldn't read something offensive.
Yeah, I gotta be honest, this reminds me of the Pee-wee dinosaurs.
This is our own miniature, generic Cabazone.
Cabazon dinosaurs, yeah. Because it's just so the plaque was here. This was the plaque.
Sorry, folks.
Whoa.
Dinosaur outside. Should have told you.
Yeah, you can walk around. This is a moat.
That's an actual moat.
The whole perimeter of this moat.
Our own Cabazon dinosaurs, meshed with our own La Brea tar pits.
I love this though. The main building, the men's sign is like so Polynesian.
Oh yeah, it is very, very Polynesian. I never noticed that before. Those are the restroom facilities.
Looks like something that would be out in California.
Wondering if it was still here. There used to be under surveillance sign, and it looks like part of it's broken off, but it's still kind of here. Used to be right across there. It would say video surveillance. There's the other portion of it right there.
Did you think this thing had like a ride? Because like you walk over the water.
I don't think so.
It goes around the whole thing.
I think it was just a miniature golf course and this was the moat.
Just made you feel like you were on an island.
Yeah.
Because you were.
But you're right, you know, you look at it this way and it does kind of go through a tunnel.
It's wide enough that they could
You
have
could
had
have
like
a
a
boat
small
ride.
boat. Yeah.
Wow, I never noticed that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
you walk over it there. I mean, it's big. Definitely could be like a lazy river thing. And there's something.
Well, it's still here. You want to start a business?
Yeah, that's true. Used to be a waterfall. Right?
Just get a water hose and a inflatable canoe.
Right here's the old waterfall. Straight ahead. You can see where it goes down like a slide. Is the raptor still here? It is.
The weird thing is, though, one day we'll come by here and it'll all be completely bulldozed.
I know, it will be. It's going to be sad when they bulldoze this.
Just like the original swings and go-kart track and everything we passed
I
by.
wonder if the people who stay at this Hampton Inn, when they're pulling up, they're like, oh, look. And then they realize
They can't go mini golfing.
Standing right there. This is it's a sight for sore eyes, but I love this kind of stuff. If I was traveling and I showed up next to an abandoned golf course place, I gotta check this out.
Check this out, Doc. They're calling this reimagining. Wait a second. I-4 Beyond the Ultimate here at Sand Lake.
Oh yeah, the Ultimate I-4 was like the project of them like widening the I-4, you know?
Yeah. They need to get moving on 535 and I-4. That is a disaster. It took me forever to get here because it's just bumper to bumper, but they're getting there. They're getting there. I-4 Beyond. Bring it on. I don't know, maybe a year or two ago, they opened up a gift shop here, a Disney World gift shop, and I thought it was going to be this massive complex. But you go in, and it's smaller than the one they have at MCO Orlando International. It's like a teeny tiny room
I think
inside
I was in
there.
there with you the first time we opened it up. We were like so anticlimactic.
Yeah, we're gonna go in and check it out. See what they got in here. And this is a big parking garage right here.
Yeah, it is.
Massive parking garage. At first I thought it was a hotel, but it's just a parking garage. Speaking of spooky, this is where the zombie walk for spooky used to be.
That's right.
We would all meet in here, and then we would walk that way to spooky. Or no, we'd walk this way.
Yep.
We'd walk that way, past all this, and then over to the Wyndham, right there.
But then I've done it also with you, where you can see it way down there, the former Peabody. I think
Oh,
it's
the Peabody, yeah,
No,
yeah.
no, it's not the Wyndham. It's the I can't remember. where it
Right
is.
by the big convention center area.
Yes, and there's a restaurant over there. We did the zombie crawl, and we did it with what's his name? Who was Art the Clown from Terrifier when he first
Oh,
came.
okay. David Thornton?
David Thornton. I have a picture of him with
How do I know his name? I have no idea. All right, we're going in. It is the Walt Disney World. Welcome to the Walt Disney World store. Welcome to Walt Disney World store. Hours of operation, 9 to 6 p.m. It's basically the same stuff they have. It's like a very teeny tiny emporium and a smaller version of the big gift shop they have under the American flag when you go in the A and B gates at MCO. That's kind of That's my consensus on this, on the size of it. But it's neat that it's here. I'm sure it gets a lot of walk by. A lot of people walk up and down idrive. So
It's kind of like the monorail store as you exit Magic Kingdom.
monorail store. Yep.
How small like that.
All right, I stand corrected. It was larger space than I thought it would be. For some reason, I remember it being teenier in time. That's about the same size as the one at MCO.
Yeah.
With a higher roof line. But it's still, when they originally were teasing opening this, I thought it was going to be the whole thing.
I did too. I really did.
But definitely worth stopping in. They got quite a bit of things in there. And you could buy tickets in there.
Mm-hmm.
Probably even an annual pass
Yeah.
or whatever you want to do. They have a ticket center.
Yeah, they have a ticket center. I think you can renew your annual pass, and you don't have to go to the park in that long.
I just renewed my pass 4 or 5 days ago. I just did it right on the Disney Experience app.
Yeah, you can do
They just
that.
asked you right there, do you want to do it? Did it?
Yeah.
They take the money out of your bank account.
Yeah.
You shed a little bit of a tear. And then you get on with your life.
Yep. Mine's in September. That's my doomsday.
All right, we have now gone back over to the side we started on in the same parking lot we both parked at and met up at. And we're going to continue our tradition of Chuy's Mexican food right along here. There are 2 Chuy's that Mike and I choose to go to on a semi-regular basis. Another one across from the former Splendid China, now the Margaritaville Resort. But I would say out of all of them, this is the one we eat at most of the time. Tex-Mex, you would call it. I think it's a Tex-Mex type of Mexican food. So we get it. It have a Elvis themed. All the Chuy's have a Elvis theme. So sticking with the Elvis and getting the burritos, getting the chips, getting the snacks, getting the appetizers, all that stuff, and continuing our Chuy's tradition. All right, I am full. Some delicious Chuy's. Peeking over here once again at the former Wyndham. I'm sure the next time I am in this area and I see this will all be cleaned up.
Yeah.
But you're right, it is interesting how they haven't touched the main building, just the rooms. So it would make sense to reutilize the convention center area, build a new hotel on the exterior of it, and then call it something else.
I don't think they would want to mess it up because the restaurant is connected to the same building.
Right. And that's going to do it for today from International Drive. Changes are inevitable. Things will always keep progressing, no matter how nostalgic you are about something. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. The vlog is over.